Hello, everybody, and welcome. Sorry, I didn't have my British accent prepared for some reason. Hello, and welcome to A State of Affairs on Tablestory. We are delighted to entertain you this afternoon or evening, depending on your time zone, because it turns out that's a thing in this grand global world. You know, since the development of steamships, I really feel like we've expanded our universe. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be playing A State of Affairs using the Good Society RPG system, which is based off of and inspired by the novels of Jane Austen, although, you know, we're going to probably play a little bit loosey-goosey with that because we can, and that makes it just as much fun. But prepare for a lot of emotional drama and scandal and relationships and probably less like magic and sword fighting. I can probably guarantee no magic, but I actually can't guarantee no sword fighting because I have been in multiple games of this with many duels, and people have gotten stabbed. So that's very Austen-esque, isn't it? But I am incredibly excited to play this with you. It's a little bit of a different RPG system for those of you who are familiar with more traditional dice rolling ones. So I'm very excited to show this all off. But first, look at all of these beautiful faces on the screen. There are so many of them, and they're so gorgeous. And I think they need to introduce themselves. I think we'll have you hold off on introducing your character. We'll just have you introduce yourself, and then we'll kind of, as we play out the first novel chapter, imagine like it's your first introduction of your character, and so you can kind of present them like the first paragraph you meet them in the book, as we lay our fair scene in fair Verona, England. So yes, let's begin. I'm going to look at the screen. Let's start with we'll go to the upper corner, this corner. Trooper, who are you? What are you doing here?
Greetings and salutations. I am Trooper SJP, and I am... What am I? I'm a streamer, I assume. I hope. It would be odd if I weren't. And I stream over all the places, and I am very excited to be here on Tablestory, my first time on Tablestory. But I'm very excited, and my character is in no way scandalous. Okay, that was a lie. My character is totally scandalous, as you can tell by my jacket.
Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face there. You're working on it. And we'll go down to Murgles.
Hello. Hi. I'm Murgles. It's nice to see you. I am also a streamer and an animator and a storyboard artist. So you want to come watch me sometime? That's cool. And not scandalous at all. Yeah, thank you.
Sadly. Or
alas.
We'll see. Alas, alack. And Bonsai.
Hello there. I am, of course, Bonsai Baby. I do woodworking here on Twitch and also post a lot of pictures of my dog on Twitter. It's very, very great to be here. But yes, I am, of course, the most gorgeous. No woman can deny that as you can see, I have an estate, a very beautiful estate.
This is true.
You're the only one.
I am the only one with an official estate, as you can see.
And last people, certainly not Lexi.
I'm sorry, I'm just so dazzled by the estate.
As you should be.
Hi, I'm Lexi Games. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch and a scandalous tweeter on Twitter, so if you're into any of that, I'm doing it, and currently just fawning over every character in Final Fantasy VII, so that's what's happening right now in my life.
Solid choices. And I'm Random Tuesday. I will be the facilitator for this game. I stream over on my own channel. I love playing tabletop RPGs, and occasionally I make cosplay, and there will be more mess back here, but it's clean today, so you're welcome. just for all of you. With that, though, let us... First of all, let us talk about how you can support Tablestory. Thank you for being here and watching. If you are able to do so and you'd like to, you can support Tablestory over on Patreon at tablestory.tv/pledge. You can also join the Discord. We have an A State of Affairs channel, which I will be lurking in, being like, what do you think is going to happen with all these characters? So yes, come chat with us over there. And then obviously you can support us here directly on Twitch through the wonderful magical power of subscriptions. And it looks like we reached a level 2 hype train, so that's pretty exciting. I hope it was a steam train. With that, let us talk a little bit about how the system works, because one, which is a good reminder for the players, but also for all of you, this will look very different to a classic RPG. We will roll no dice. There are no dice being rolled in this system. And you will also notice that everybody has 2 character names, one above them and one below them. So everybody in this game plays a main character who is the sort of primary person. If we imagine in a novel, they are a main character of the story. And then they will also play a side character, or a connection is what we call them. And those connections are basically there to cause trouble for the main characters. And so they're kind of like a little extra character that they get to control to make their main character's life difficult, or someone else's main character's life difficult. So you'll notice people kind of swap back and forth between which character they're playing, depending on the scene and depending on what makes sense. So everybody gets, we basically start out with 8 named characters that they're playing, and then I have additional characters that we've all created that I also play. Now, there are mechanics for having things happen that the characters do not have control over, and to do that, they will spend a resolve token. Essentially, it's like you want something bad to happen to someone else's character, and you offer them a resolve token to make it seem less bad. And the person can say, yes, I'll have that bad thing happen and take the resolve token, or no, I will reject the token and I don't want that bad thing to happen. Or they can say, yes, but here's a condition that I have. So essentially, anytime the players want something to happen in the scene that their characters would not be able to do, like I want it to suddenly pour down with rain, so we're caught out in a thunderstorm, they can offer a resolve token to whoever would be most negatively affected by that sudden thunderstorm, and that person can choose to accept or reject it. So yeah, it's the I reject your reality and substitute my own, and I will spend a resolve token in order to do so. So even though I'm the facilitator, the players end up having a lot of power and a lot of control over how the story progresses. And the last thing you'll notice is we kind of play in phases. So we have very traditional RP where it's characters talking back and forth, and then we have some I think of them as like the XP character leveling sections where we talk about like who got the most reputation or didn't get any reputation, and we spread some rumors and we cause some scandal. So you'll see all of this as we go and play, and I will re-explain everything as we get to it, but I wanted to prepare everyone. There is no dice. There are no character stats. The closest we get is people have one-word descriptors that are either positive or negative about their character, but that's about it. And everybody does have a secret desire. So they have something that they are working towards that the other characters do not know. And they also have pre-established relationships. So, we will begin our novel, A State of Affairs. Let us fade into the scene in fair Mayford, southeast of England. A short day's trip into London. Not too difficult to get to, but you know, we are in a countryside region. We see sort of fields with sheep and cattle and other domesticated animals where the farmers and things are, but we will not concern ourselves. They're the working class. We are not the working class here. How dare you think such a thing? No, we gloss over those farm fields and the fences, and we see trees, a smattering of trees and forests, and we head to the estate. A particular estate here today. It is the estate belonging to a Mr. Robert Harrison, who we may know as a good friend to certain members of our cast, and also to be engaged to Miss Juliana Hunt. And in fact, today is their engagement party. And it's a very exciting party, and many people have been invited. Although not everybody knows everybody who has been invited, because perhaps some of those people were invited without proper consultation between the two individuals who are getting married and the various other individuals who might have opinions therein. But some of you, and in fact, of our main characters, all of you have been invited. And I believe, Edward, you would have been invited by Robert Harrison because he simply wishes for you and more importantly, Charles, who he also invited. He's just trying to get the boys back together. You know, he invited you, but he did not tell either of you that the other one was invited. So, Edward, you know you've been invited to the engagement party of one of your old friends, and Charles, you know you've been invited to the engagement party of one of your close friends. And of course, you know, the whole Ashby family was invited. They are, you know, Lord, I don't actually know. Lord Cuthbert, do you know either of these two individuals? Robert Harrison or Juliana Hunt?
Oh, these people don't sound at all exciting to me.
Right.
Well, if they grew up in this town, probably.
Well, your mother was invited, and her daughter, obviously. So Viscountess Victoria Ashby certainly would have been invited, because she's very proper and important. She's a Viscountess. You can't not invite the Viscountess to the party.
No.
And of course, Juliana Hunt would ensure that her best friend, Lady Florence Ashby, was there as well.
Oh, well, I think I wasn't exactly invited, but I heard about it, and I thought it would be good fun.
I was just wondering if that might be the case.
I don't think, because nobody's expecting me. I've been in Italy, having a lovely time in Italy.
Good. Oh, great. I'm sure your mother's quite pleased with that.
And I've just arrived.
So the garden party, it is an engagement party, and it's taking place late afternoon. Seems like a sort of a tea party. There will be sandwiches and cakes, and of course, you know, it's taking place outside. It opens out into the conservatory of the Harrison estate. I feel like they have a modest estate. They're not viscounts. They have a modest estate, but it's lovely. Large garden, benches, chairs arranged in such a way that, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about a young woman being unaccompanied, because it's obviously a public gathering space or a large enough group, and, you know, beautifully dressed. Or beautifully decorated, because I feel like Juliana would pride herself in ensuring that the decorations are quite perfect. So, my question to you as the facilitator is for your characters. Who might arrive particularly early or late or on time? I feel like it's important that we sort of establish who's there when other people become there.
I would be late.
I am late.
Yes.
Okay. You're both late.
I will be there early.
Charles will be there early.
I think
Yes,
that,
of course.
Florence will be very early because Juliana's such a good friend of hers.
I imagine, you know, Juliana probably asked you to come early because she's very nervous. You know, she's very excited about being engaged, but she's very nervous, and also she may or may not have had plans of a conversation she wanted to have with you, but that you don't know about.
Oh.
So perhaps we can begin
nervous.
then.
Wait, I think I would be slightly late. I would maybe not be as late as...
Okay, so all right, so
Lord
our
Cuthbert,
arrival
yes.
order then will be Florence, followed by Charles, followed by Edward, followed by Cuthbert. That seems to be the order. And we can assume any of the appropriate connection characters will be there. Obviously, Juliana and Robert will, but if you feel that one of your connections that you're playing should show up, feel free to do that as well. But maybe we can start then, Lexi, with Florence and Juliana setting things up for the party. And by setting things up, I think this is watching the servants set things up for the party.
Pointing and telling them where to
Pointing and telling me, oh yes, you should put the cakes over there, and I think the sandwiches will look quite good on that table. Do you agree, Florence?
Of course, it'll look spectacular. Everything you touch looks amazing, Juliana.
Oh, thank you. I'm just, you know, I'm a bit worried after. I'm worried that things might not go smoothly, or that you know, it won't be quite as
Everything will
fabulous as
go
it could be.
according to plan. I'll make sure of it. Don't even worry about it. We'll take care of it. It'll be fine. You just worry about your beautiful engagement. We're so happy for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to have my engagement, and I can't believe Robert proposed to me, and it was, and she just sort of starts tearing up as she describes the moment in which he engaged. He was riding on a horse, The horse rode up to the front of the house and dripping with water from the rain that it just was the rainstorm, and he asked to come inside. And, of
See,
course we
Juliana,
couldn't
the first
say
time you
no.
told me, I didn't remember there being a horse. I love a horse. Is such a beautiful imagery. Wow,
It
so
was so
romantic.
dramatic. I wasn't expecting it at all, and then, he came inside and
You had
sopping
no
wet.
idea.
I had no idea. No idea.
But you loved
And
him.
just got down on one knee and asked me in front of my mother.
Oh, what a lovely woman your mother is. I'm so excited for both of you.
And you know,
what a wonderful man, Robert.
He's very lovely, very kind-hearted, good standing, quite well appointed.
Great family.
Yes,
very important.
I'm hoping someday soon, to be able to plan your engagement party.
Oh, that's of course. Of course it'll happen, Juliana. Don't worry about it at all.
Well, I do worry, and I don't mean to judge, but you are 3 years older than me, Florence.
Yes, of course you're so beautiful and talented to get engaged before me, Juliana. I think when the time
felt
is
quite
right.
bad about it. I almost said no,
Oh, because I'm so old. I understand. Yes.
Well, it didn't seem fair. We're basically sisters, and it would be quite improper, really.
Yes. I think me and Henrietta have been having long conversations about where I want my life to go, and I think sometime very soon, Juliana, you should be able to expect a proposal. I think. Don't worry about me at all.
Good.
Yes.
I wouldn't want you to end up like Miss Marjorie down the road.
Oh.
You know.
Yes, of course not. Except I'm so well connected. I feel like I could never end up like Miss Marjorie down the road. But
Miss Marjorie is probably a spinster, and she has like 7 cats.
And she's not invited to any parties. She's not at this party.
Definitely not. Definitely not. No one wants to be Miss Marjorie.
I think, Juliana, we should just let's focus on you today. It's such an important day. I want you to worry or get flustered. I want you to stay fresh and beautiful for your party. Yes, just put those horrid thoughts aside.
I've heard
Focus on
so many
yourself.
people are coming. I didn't really check over the guest list. I entrusted Robert with that, and I think he did a marvelous job.
Oh, of course. You don't think that he has anybody that may show up, and cause trouble. I don't know anything about Robert's past.
No. Well, Robert is good friends with Charles, Mr. Charles Alexander Griffiths V.
Right,
They're good friends.
yes.
They're good friends. And beyond
Charles.
that, I'm 10 years younger than him, so I don't know much about his past either.
Oh, well, I guess we'll find out together, won't we, Juliana?
It'll be quite the adventure. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it.
Of course. I'm so happy to see you happy, Juliana.
She flutters off to yell at more servants in a posh way.
And just wring her hands nervously and walk away.
A little bit of time will pass, and the party begins in full swing, and we see people arrive, and obviously not Miss Marjorie. Is that what I said her name is?
Yes.
Miss Marjorie. I need to write that down so I don't forget it. Miss Marjorie.
Down the road.
And,
down the lane.
Yes, down the lane.
Down the lane.
Down the lane. She
Where
lives
7 cats.
in a cottage at the end of a lane, has 7 cats. She's she's what we might call a spinster. And so the party begins. It sort of enters into full swing. People arrive. There's conversation. There's much congratulations, and I think Juliana and Robert get sort of swept up in a lot of welcoming of people. And perhaps is this around when Charles would arrive?
I will be coming in on a mighty steed.
So I totally forgot. I'm so sorry, Lexi. I didn't have you describe Florence. What did we see as she stands there wringing her hands nervously, and then we'll fade into Charles's arrival?
Florence is very wealthy. So I think that she's trying to dress very nicely, but not so nicely that she makes everybody else feel bad because she knows that they are her mother's Viscountess, so she doesn't want her friends to feel bad. She's appropriately dressed for the party, but she looks like she shouldn't be there at all. She's a little sweaty after that conversation, I think, but she's just trying to dab it away very carefully. She has her hair neatly pulled back. She's flushed after what just occurred, and I think she's just trying to be helpful now to anybody that's not going to lecture her.
Sure, it's fine. I'm sure no one else will.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not worried at all.
And as we the camera fades out on Florence, like nervously sort of gathering her wits about her, we see the party begin, full swing, and then Charles, your arrival.
Yes, of course. Robert! Robert, my good man!
Charles!
Oh, thank you for inviting me. Did you notice
two
the
of
more
you.
nice...
Manly embrace. So what do we see? What does Charles look like? Tell us about him.
Very, very, at the time, very muscular, tall physique with very beautiful red hair that is slightly wavy but still flowing, but tied into a proper bun. Clean shaven, with green eyes. Obviously.
Ooh,
Obviously, yes.
that's quite the look there.
Yes. Oh, Robert, my dear man, did you see the stallion I brought for you as a congratulations?
Oh, this is not simply your means of conveyance here, my good friend.
No, of course. What should I bring for my dearest and longest friend, except a pure blood? They say that it's Arabian night. Look at it. It is almost as dark as night.
He walks up to the horse with you, smacks it. Ah, it is a fine steed indeed that you've picked out for me. Apparently we're also from the Middle Ages.
But yes. So, where? Let us see the beautiful lady. Are you excited? Look at you. Who would know you would be the first of us to get married? But I'm sure you will be followed soon after.
Of course, I'm sure you'll be joining us soon. Married life is something to be look forward to enjoy, to revel in your newfound comfort and security with a beautiful human person. So good. I was on it and then I fell off as he gestures over to Juliana, who's just like, me?
Yes. Oh, look at this. How lovely you are. Oh, Robert
there has to be someone here who catches your eye. And he sort of gestures out and then, maybe lingers for a moment on Florence.
Oh, my dear Florence. Hello. Is she right next to,
maybe at this point Juliana and Florence are talking.
I will first give a quick kiss to Juliana, saying congratulations. You have chosen a very good man. And also, do not think that I only brought gifts for Robert. Now, being as a family, I have brought gifts from India as well for you. It's very exotic.
Wait, did you get back from like, would they have known if you traveled to India recently, or did you just import things?
I import things.
You import things.
I have
Very
money.
nice.
Who needs to go places? I have money. People can bring me stuff.
Excellent point.
Yes. There you go.
Oh, goodness, this is so beautiful. Look at this, Florence. Charles, that is so kind of you. Charles and Florence, you of course know each other, yes?
Oh, yes. Hello, Florence.
Hello, Charles. Oh, thank you. It's lovely to see you, Charles.
Yes.
You're looking well. I hope you're very healthy.
Oh, yes, I'm very, very, very healthy and robust, as I am always in great, great health. Never been sick in my life. You look marvelous, my dear.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. It's happy to have you here.
In the background, we just see Robert and Juliana. They just look at each other, they nod, and the two of them walk away from the two of you.
Just a little shipping, right?
Mm-hmm. And they're like, yes.
So, how have things been with your mother?
Oh, my mother is very well. Thank you for asking. Charles and your family as well, too, I hope.
Yes, of course. They're always doing their business about town. My mother has been kind of getting into gardening for some reason. I do not know quite why. Who has time to just get dirty and all such things?
Well, I
But
don't
whatever
imagine
keeps
she's
her
doing the
fancy.
gardening herself, Charles. She's probably just properly planting the bushes. I bet it looks beautiful.
Yes, indeed. So, how has things been with your family, your other extended family? I know you had a rough patch.
Oh, yes. Well, my mother is very well. And my brother is alive. So, that's great.
That is very, very good to hear. But yes, I mean, if you would
I mean, what
like,
more could
do
we
you-
really want? Yes. I think, I hear someone, I think it's Juliana beckoning for me, Charles. I must bid you adieu. Thank you
Are
very
you
much.
sure?
Goodbye.
Do you
Goodbye,
have a
Charles.
card? Can I write on your... Oh, gosh darn it. I need to get our dance card next time.
As perhaps we let some time pass at this party, Charles, and I feel like, tell me if this is untrue, but I see a little bit of like Florence just doing a lot to actively avoid Charles while Charles is like sort of trying to talk to her every so
Like a
often.
beautiful dance around tables.
Yeah.
I cannot seem to get her dance card for some reason. It just always avoids me.
And a little time passes, and perhaps that's when our third guest will arrive.
Hello.
So, Edward, when you
Yes.
arrive, do you arrive in a particular style or fashion? Who do we see when you appear?
I walked here. Yes, I
Wow.
walked here across many heaths.
Mayford.
I just yes, across Mayford. I prefer the physicality of walking. You know, I just don't want to come across as too fancy. So I walked here. Yes, I started out in the morning.
Maybe that's why you're a little late.
Yeah, I'm just dabbing sweat away. I am very nervous. I am a tall man with brooding features. Yes, curly blonde hair that I'm quite ashamed of. Actually, I can never get it to do what I want it to do. I know, tragic. And I am here to see my friend Robert. And no one else, I suspect. No one else that I know. So.
Yeah, there's no way anyone else would be at an engagement
No.
party.
I'm dreading the affair, to be frank.
Like, you know what? Robert will be honored that you arrived then. And he'll be there to greet you. I think he's probably been keeping a bit of an eye out. And so, like, we see a servant sort of whisper fervently to him, and he comes out to the front as you arrive, and he's like, "Oh, Edward, you made it! I'm honored."
Robert, yes, of course I would be here on your beautiful day. Yes.
It means so much to me that you would choose to come here today. I know you recently returned.
Yes. And I've been enjoying it. I'm very glad to see you. And where's Juliana?
Sorry we couldn't meet in a smaller engagement, but you know, this seemed like such a good opportunity. She's right this way. And
great.
he leads you inside. And perhaps intentionally or unintentionally, he may or may not be going towards Juliana, and he sees a gentleman in front of him. Ah, Charles!
Oh yes,
Charles.
Robert.
I just,
Hello, Charles.
you know, Edward, Charles. It's lovely to bring all of us together here today. I just...
Yes, Robert. Charles, how are you?
Are
you good?
Doing fine. And yourself, Edward?
Excellent. Yes, thank you very much. Everyone well?
Yes, as well indeed. Are you sure you're okay? You seem a little winded and such.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine. It was such a
You
nice...
walked here, you know, you remember how Edward is so big on the constitutionals?
Yes, very important. Gives the mind some time to think and prepare for such beautiful events as this. Yes, well, good to see you, Charles.
Yes,
Must find Juliana and give my
I think there's something
regards.
over here. Thanks. Yes. Goodbye.
Yes. Okay. Robert, you did not tell me Charles was invited.
Well, you know, he's one of my closest friends. You're one of my closest friends. It seemed only natural for you to assume that he would be here at this engagement party. And besides, we haven't seen each other all in so long. You've been away, and
Yes.
we've been getting older, and it just seemed like a good moment to bring us all back together again. Remember the good old days.
How do you think it went?
You talked to each other, so that was good, yes.
Yes, I do believe that's great strides, yes, from the last time I saw him, yes. Okay.
Yes, better than the last time.
Yes. Well, let's say hello to your beautiful, beautiful bride.
She is the apple of my eye. That's the thing that parents say. She is the moon to my stars. And he tries.
Yes,
he tries his
can see
best
it.
as he walks you over to perhaps where Florence and Juliana are talking once again.
Yes.
I'm just hiding behind Juliana, I think, at this point.
And, Robert doesn't quite see this at first, and so he's like, Juliana, Edward, Juliana, this was wonderful.
I go and I
She's
take
great.
Juliana's hand and I kiss it gently. Hello, Juliana.
you.
Congratulations. So ever so nice to see you.
It's lovely to
Lady
meet
Ashby?
you. I've heard about you. Oh, of course. Florence,
Hello,
this
Lady
is
Ashby.
Edward. Edward is one of Robert's closest friends.
Yes.
Older close friends, I think. Yes.
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 Very nice to see you, Edward.
Yes. You too.
Oh, you know each other?
Oh, yes, we do. We've met previously.
Yes.
Oh,
Only
that's
limitedly.
lovely. Oh, when did you meet?
I believe, Edward has some mutual friends with my brother, perhaps.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. That.
Sorry, did you say your last name was Pembroke?
Indeed, yes. It is.
Oh, Edward Pembroke of the Pembroke estate.
The Pembroke family, Juliana.
And you know
Yes.
each other? You've met previously, as acquaintances, yes?
Well,
Acquaintances,
we know most
yes.
people in the town.
Yes.
Robert, and I think at this point Florence pulls Robert away and starts whispering something very furtively to him. And we just overhear, you didn't tell me that it was Edward Pembroke. I just assumed it was an Edward, of the Pembroke estate and
Are you well, Lady
Scandal.
Ashby?
Well, thank you. How have you been? How is your family? Have you heard from them?
Thankfully not. Yes. It is good to see you. I should go.
Of course.
You look lovely. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
And I skitter away.
Do you leave the party or do you just go stand in the corner?
I stand in the furthest corner, have whatever thing I'm holding, and I'm just standing there staring into the
Servant keeps
distance.
coming around, offering you something, seeing that your plate is still full, and then just sort of,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I'm not eating or drinking anything. I'm just staring into the distance.
Charles is going to try to go in the exact opposite, a radius very far away from Edward.
Okay.
As far as you can be, while also trying to look, where did Florence go? Excuse me, Florence.
So there is some tension, perhaps, that radiates throughout this garden party, as the mood for most of the guests still remain quite pleasant and positive. Juliana's going to have words with you at some point, Florence, but I feel like she's a bit too busy to have those words with you right now. And so perhaps you tell me, Trooper, about Cuthbert's arrival.
Well, you see, I'm in a carriage, a quite expensive carriage, and I ride up with a team of horses. I've not even...
like so many horses out front right now.
Yes, and, well, someone will take care of them. Estates have people to do that sort of thing, don't they? And I arrive with, I have to say, a bottle of champagne that I brought on my way back. I traveled extensively. Also, you bring champagne to a party, don't you? Now, I might have actually drunk some of it before I actually got to the party, but there is still some champagne in this bottle. And I arrive...
A game
Yes.
where if there were percentile dice, I would have you roll percentile dice to see what percentage you had consumed, but that's fine.
Enough.
Don't need to.
Actually, I don't know if it might have been just maybe not enough. But, well, there's always more champagne where that comes from. Although, anyway, I do arrive. I actually just come in, and here's the thing. There are a couple of things you should know. First off, surprise! It's so lovely. It's not even my house. It's someone's house, but it is a party, and I suspect my older sister is in attendance. I have been told by the servants this is where I might find her. Where is my sister? Hello, everyone. Hello. And
What do we see? What does Lord Cuthbert look like?
Oh, Lord
Cuthbert Ashby.
Lord Cuthbert Ashby is, first, I don't mean to scandalize you all, but rather than an actual jacket that one might wear in the out of doors, he's wearing a very expensive smoking jacket that one would normally wear only indoors and not in front of company. But he's indeed wearing his smoking jacket out of doors and in front of company. He's not exceptionally tall. He's sort of a bit above average height, a bit, a tad thin in a sort of decadent way. His clothing is all very, very wealthy, nice silks. He's got piercing blue eyes, and he's got very sort of luxurious sideburns and sort of finely coiffed facial hair. The thing about our Lord Ashby is that every single moment and bit about him is exceptionally groomed, perhaps a tad much so, really. And he's just, just like that much drunk. Not so much drunk, but, he's been having a lovely time, is what I'm going to say, before the party's been started. But I actually, whenever Lord Ashby's around... Yes, just a little bit. But wherever Lord Ashby is, there's going to be a party. So, where is my sister? My older sister.
I think as you make a lot of noise throughout the party, the servants all eventually direct you to where Florence and Juliana are sort of congregating. And we see far corner, Edward standing awkwardly. Other far corner, Charles slightly less awkward but a little awkward, and then Juliana and Florence sort of in the center, and I think Robert milling about being, a gracious host.
Dearest sister.
Is this one of those Cusco moments? You slamming open the doors
Yes.
and everyone has to pay attention to
Yes.
you? Okay.
Yes. Have I missed the dancing? I certainly hope not, my sister. How
I just give
are you?
Juliana just this death stare, this painfully awkward death.
I didn't invite him.
Cuthbert!
And then, she looks at Robert, and Robert's like,
Cuthbert, I thought you were away.
I was in Italy and having such a lovely time by the sea, by the lake. I was renting an estate there, and it was so lovely. Just a little house, and I was writing, and I was dreaming, and I was having bathing by the lake.
Writing. That's lovely. I must have missed the letters you were writing to your dear sister.
Oh, my dear, I wasn't writing letters. How pedestrian. No, I was writing poetry. Did you not hear that my book of poetry was published under my name?
In your... Cuthbert,
you heard
family name.
a lot about this from your mother.
Oh.
She was not pleased.
I did hear that. Yes, Cuthbert.
How wonderful, isn't it? Yes.
I like to call it the Ode to Saint Sebastian is what I called it, and I really was really quite inspired by my travels. Anyway, is Mother here? I've not been able to find her.
I do not believe she arrived. Perhaps she was a bit tired. She's aging quite a bit. You probably wouldn't know since you haven't checked in on Mother in a while, but... yes.
No. Dear, what is this party anyway?
What are you... Cuthbert, you remember my friend Juliana? It's her and Robert's engagement party.
Oh, yes. Oh, happy with the engagement. So,
Thank you.
Congratulations. So, this is...
Glad you could make it. I assume someone told you?
Oh,
about
yes. I assume that you know how the international post is, invitations get lost here and there, but I'm sure you certainly would have invited me.
So nice of you to assume you were invited, Cuthbert.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, who wouldn't want Lord Cuthbert Ashby at one of their parties? I always make it much more interesting. Who is that? I say, pointing to Edward up in the corner.
Edward, Pembroke, I think, you might remember him. You went to school together, but, his family left. We can talk about it later, Cuthbert. There was quite a scandal.
We certainly didn't go to school together. He seems deliciously older than I.
Oh, perhaps then maybe you know each other from town. I could have sworn you two were friends. I'm not sure then how I know him.
Oh, no, I don't know this man at all. Did you... And then he realizes there is something going on in a conversation that he must have missed. And he's like, no, I've not met him. I would have certainly remembered that.
Oh, would... Perhaps, Robert could introduce you to Edward then.
Oh, perhaps. By the way, you're not married yet, are you?
Oh, Cuthbert, and neither are you. How strange it seems to run in the family, doesn't it?
Well, I am a year younger than you, so I think I have some time. You don't seem to have much time at all, though, do you?
No, the clock is just ticking away. Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and yes, no, the floral arrangement over there. I will. Oh. Goodbye, Cuthbert. I'll catch up with you at home. See you later. She's gone.
Oh,
She actually knocks a vase over in order to catch it.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Just like backs up into one.
She's very sweaty.
Crash on the floor, and of course Juliana's like, "Oh no!" And it's a whole thing. So.
And he's just carrying his little bottle of champagne with him.
Yeah.
That he brought with him from abroad. He had other bottles that he also brought from abroad. He's drunk most of those.
They didn't make it?
No. they didn't fall, though. They just,
So, other than a little bit more chaos now that Cuthbert has arrived, does anyone have, do we want to have any other scenes or little interactions here? Because if not, I think we've had a wonderful introduction to all of our characters, and we can move on to our reputation phase.
I feel like I should say hello to Edward, though.
Oh, you did. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, that seems good.
Yes.
And perhaps there's probably a moment maybe of Charles realizing that Cuthbert's here too. Okay, we've got a couple
and
more
then
moments
when
to have.
I'll find a moment to speak to Cuthbert.
I feel like it's hard not to notice that I've arrived.
Oh, certainly. Maybe Charles was in the bathroom.
Perhaps. I'm going to walk over to Edward. So, you are the Pembroke of the scandalous Pembrokes.
Hello, yes. I am trying to fix that now. It was, in the past, my father, well, yes, it was
Your
unbecoming,
father?
indeed.
Was
Yes.
it? Sounded like great fun.
Perhaps in some areas of the world it would have been fun, but here it was catastrophic.
Oh, well, I really don't care about that sort of thing. But is it true what they said about this Scarlet woman? Could she really do 14 high kicks in a row on a toe? Is that true?
Oh dear. I'm very sorry. I do not know where you've heard such things.
Well, I heard that for an American, she was quite good at the can-can.
Yes, well, I'm sure she secured my father in some way.
Ooh, I imagine she did. But let's talk about more exciting things. Tell me something. I don't know you at all, and I feel like I should. Who are you, really, besides the child of some sort of scandalousness? So tell me, would you like some champagne? I have some. It's from France.
Sure, yes, okay, of course, yes, yes.
Oh.
I would love to, thank you for offering.
Oh, and I'm going to just grab a glass of whatever, like they probably had punch, pour out the punch, and then pour in the champagne and hand him a glass.
Thank you.
It's much better than punch, don't you think?
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you. Sure. And who are you, sir? I do believe you are Lord Cuthbert Ashby.
I am.
Yes.
I can tell my reputation has preceded me. Has it, by the way? My reputation preceded me?
Would you like it to have?
Perhaps. Would you like it to have?
I believe your reputation has preceded you, sir.
Oh.
And, good for you, but I am of different tastes.
Oh.
You know, some men like champagne and others prefer wine. Thank you very much. And I put the champagne down.
Wait, what in this conversation? What exactly? Well, never mind. How is your state, by the way?
My estate. Yes. Well, it's currently being upkept. I'm moving back, in the process of moving back. I've just returned. Yes, from Prussia. So now I'm taking back my estate and yes, restoring my family in the Pembroke home.
Speaking of restorations of the Pembroke home, just who might be working on those restorations? Anyone in particular, or do you just have what? Yeah, yes.
Well, we have a very fine gentleman from Scotland, actually.
Yes.
Yes, he is doing a very fine job, though I do believe he's a bit upset at the fact that I have returned. But
less privacy, I assume. Well, but
do you know him?
Yes, I do.
I had thought so, Lord Ashby.
Don't you think that people are a little bit too... You're from Prussia. Well, you're not from Prussia, but you were in Prussia. You know...
I was in Prussia, yes.
Yes. I was going to say, don't you think that the English are so much more buttoned up than the people on the continent? But then I remembered you were in Prussia, and they're very buttoned up there.
A little bit less buttoned up than here, I assure you.
Oh, well then. And I sort of bump his elbow. You might be some fun yet.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, my good man. Life is too short.
Life is incredibly long, actually. Feels slower and slower each day.
Oh, well, my. We need to get you... Oh, my dear Edward. I don't know you very well yet, although I will. I'm going to recommend absinthe, also a lot more poetry, and perhaps...
I've never really enjoyed poetry.
Oh, my.
I just never understood it, you know. So many floral words. What does it all mean? Nothing really in the end. I prefer something more solid. Actions, not words.
Edward. You know,
Lord.
With your eyes and hair and all of that, you really should take on a little bit of poetry and a lot more drink. Alcohol, I meant.
Yes, I will take your concerns. I will think about them, indeed. Well, have you met Charles?
Wait. Wait.
Yes?
Tell me exactly how you know my sister. she seems to be under the impression that she met you through me, but yet you and I have never met.
Oh, surely, sir. You must be mistaken, traveling around in different groups. I might have been at one party or another, and you might have not seen me. I blend into a crowd, as you can imagine.
Interesting. Well, if somehow you remember exactly how you've met my sister before, I would love to know.
Oh, I will certainly write you immediately the moment it comes to me.
Well, wait, did you say Charles was here?
Yes, indeed.
Camera pans across the room. Charles, what are you doing in this moment?
Looking at their conversation at the moment. I will go ahead and promptly walk over there if they seem to be staring both at me.
You've been staring at them long enough to know that now they're both looking at you.
Yes, now they're looking at me. I've been staring at them all.
Of course.
I see you have invited yourself, Lord Ashby.
Charles, the 5th, the 4th, the 6th.
The 5th.
The 5th. There's just so many Charleses in your family, it's hard to keep track of them all. How are you, my dear?
I am doing quite well, as you can see, and it is good to see no grass stains on you, sir.
Oh, no, I usually try to make sure there's a blanket or something. So...
I am taken aback.
I'm being scandalous in public. This is what I do. So, Charles, what are you doing here at this party?
Of course, I'm friends with Robert. And also, I, unlike some people, have got a name for myself out there and is very beloved. By my mother, at the very least.
Well, I imagine my mother would...
my family.
Do you? Well, I imagine my mother would love you as well. Everyone seems to.
Yes.
Well, maybe not everyone. I don't think my sister does. She never speaks a kind word about you at all, actually. Strange. Considering you're one of the few eligible men in this little small town of nothing, and she does need to get married, but yet she never seems to mention you.
I like the hunt. It's okay.
Oh.
It is when I've seen when it is a creature that is harder to get, it is mostly like they are trying to lead you on. It's for the best prize, as you can see. Edward.
Yes, Charles, you've been historically very good in hunts. Yes.
Of course, yes, of course, in hunts.
It's true. He brags about it quite a lot.
Let's not speak of the goose.
Oh.
I think Robert is calling me over here.
No, I don't think he is. I think this is delightful. Charles, Edward, do you two know each other?
Yes, we used to be very fond friends until one day I exceeded his hunting skills.
Oh.
It was a
No,
good
you
day
are
for
a
me.
dirty cheat. You know that you cut.
Well, and I think at this point, Robert comes over because he sees, he's been watching this, and I think Juliana has just been very you have to get them to, this is a problem. I don't know what you did. And she's like, and he's like, but he's a Viscount. I can't just kick him out. It's like, gentlemen. It seems that, perhaps, it is time for us to cut the cake. And he, just completely
Wait, who are you?
redirects. I'm Robert. This is my party.
Oh! Congratulations, my good man.
And meanwhile, while he's doing this, Florence, Juliana has come up to you and she's like, you need to get your brother to leave.
Yes.
He needs to be...
I'm just gonna congratulations again, Juliana and Robert, and I'm just gonna take
lovely
his
to have
arm
you.
by the cuff and just go.
Yes, it was a wonderful party. Thank you so much.
Please, thank you, love you. Congratulations, my love. Goodbye.
I think that's where we'll end this novel chapter. So now we get to do some of the delightful structure. So that's a novel chapter. Sometimes it will be scenes where not everybody's in them, and sometimes it will be scenes where everybody's in them. And then oftentimes you won't spend any resolve tokens because you all do terrible things to your own characters. And you don't need to. So we now move into the reputation phase. So all of you, and this is in our play document, so for playing online, on those sheets with your family background, they have reputation criteria on them, so you can look under the cards tab. The picture's already there. So you're going to decide if your character did anything to gain a positive tag or did anything to gain a negative tag. So for example, Lexi, you'll look and at the reputation criteria, gain a positive tag if you acted in service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires, acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship. And so read those through and decide if you did anything that means you think your character basically, did they do positive things for their reputation?
I'm so sorry.
In our play document, so the Google Doc,
Yes.
in the
Family
cards
background.
tab, on your family background.
Oh, okay, on
You
family
see it, the
background.
peerage one.
Yes.
Did everyone find it?
Yes.
I've copied them in there for you to make it fast. So have a quick read of those. And reputation tags are just one-word descriptors that you think relate to either the positive or negative thing that you did. It's okay if you didn't do any of those things. I think a lot of you probably did. And those can then be used as, you can trade them in basically for a resolve token. You can say, I'm going to invoke my positive reputation tag of blah to make blah thing happen for my character. So just extra ways. Kind of think of these as like conditions if you've ever played something like Monster Hearts or Masks. Does anyone have thoughts?
I could start if you like.
Yeah, go for it, Trooper.
So I have to decide whether or not I gained a positive reputation or perhaps a negative reputation. And I would have to sort of see what are the criteria with which one would be judged by society. So I could get a positive reputation tag if I acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised my desires. That certainly did not happen. I could get a positive tag if I acted in obedience to society's conventions, despite considerable hardship in doing so. Also, I did not do that. But I could get a positive tag if I made a sacrifice or denied my desires to uphold the superiority of my rank. Also, I did not do that. So I did not get any positive reputation tags.
Yeah,
I think
I would
I'm
agree.
done.
Okay, how about the negative ones?
Oh, yes. Well, well, let me see. If I acted in contravention of society's conventions, it's questionable. If I acted on desire in a way that compromised my duty or morality, I don't know. Allowed others of lesser rank to talk down to you or treat you as an inferior. No, that didn't happen. However,
And for these, I
yeah.
can't remember exactly, but I tend to play it as, especially because we've got a few weeks. It's an all or nothing, right? You only going to
Yes.
get one positive or one negative tag. So you did enough to get you a negative tag.
I did.
What do you think your negative tag is? I mean, yeah, as Lexi points out in chat, you wore an indoor jacket inside.
Someone else's home. I feel like that by itself would really be enough. I feel like my tag would be, because just so you all know, for those who are in the audience, everybody starts with one positive and one negative tag.
Except for some people.
Except for some people. Some of those people might be me. And I have 2 negative tags, and they're currently flamboyant and wastrel. And I think I should take my 3rd negative tag. Oh, my positive is famous. But I should take my 3rd negative tag, and I think it should be wildly inappropriate.
Just inappropriate, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And that means you now have 3.
Yes.
So when you have 3,
Yes.
you have to take one of your negative conditions.
Yes.
So fracture or revenge.
Yeah, so when you get to 3 negative or 3 positive, it's like your big hit point badness. And I have either fracture or revenge. Revenge is a connection turns against you and spreads rumors and malice behind your back. But fracture is someone close to you is appalled by your behavior and refuses to talk to you. And I think that certainly fracture has happened, without a doubt. Yes.
Who's going to refuse to talk to you?
I feel like there's so many choices of who it might be that might be so upset by my behavior at a party. I feel like, I don't know, I'm gonna just ask Luxie, do you feel like, dearest sister, you might perhaps be not happy to talk to me right now? I don't know. I might be reaching.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that we are not on speaking terms after that event.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yep, there we go. So that is the first reputation. Does anyone else have strong thoughts about their character's reputation? Do you think you gained any positive or negative tags?
I believe I have gained some positive tags.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. I think that I have acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so by being at this party.
I agree.
Yes.
And what would be your positive tag then? What's a positive descriptor for your character?
What would be? I would say... gentlemanly?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Gentlemanly.
Okay.
I like it. And there's always suggestions on those background cards too, so if you're not sure, you can grab one of those ones.
Awesome, thank you. Yes.
All right, Bonsai, shall we do Charles?
I think
Charles?
Charles honestly probably got a negative tag. I did let my feelings out when he brought up the incident. When Edward brought up the
I
incident.
think you acted against society's conventions, maybe.
Yes, and I couldn't help. Yes, I didn't center myself. So I would say that I would overbearing would probably be a pretty good one.
Yeah, yeah, that totally works. Negative tag. I just
Got a
want to
little
point out.
flustered.
I just want to point out that Charles has a negative tag already. He's starting on his Gaston. We just gave you that.
That's it.
Just Gaston.
It's Gaston. That's my
that's all you need.
negative.
So, Muggles, you just put gentlemanly in the second one. So move it up one. You only put them in 3. You just put them in order.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
So that would replace... would replace
So
the
you're-
one above it?
Put it
I'm silly.
Honestly.
I'm silly. I got confused by the colors. I'm here.
It's okay. there's 3. All right, and Lady Ashby.
I would
Positive and
say
negative.
Lady Ashby has made a sacrifice or denied her desires to uphold the superiority of her rank by leaving her best friend's party to drag her brother into the evening.
I think you're right. That was.
Stopping a fight.
So what would be your positive tag?
I think it's gonna be like... I already have giving, so I feel like it's gonna have to be like wise, maybe, for making the decision.
Martyr?
Yeah,
Oh, self-sacrificing.
Self-sacrificing?
for the good of society. Martyr is good. I think I'll take it.
I'm a martyr. I'm not getting married because, I have to take care of my brother being a brother.
My family, my disastrous
My family. Yeah. All right, I love it. Okay, so that is our reputation. So some people gained, many tags were gained. Some people gained a condition. Now we move on to one of my favorite phases, rumors and scandal. So the way rumors and scandals work is we're going to go around basically in a circle, and then we go back in the opposite direction. So everyone gets to go twice. The person who goes last goes first the second time. And you can create a rumor. It can be whatever you want. I typically suggest creating rumors about characters, but you can create rumors about the world. Like you can be like, the queen is gravely ill and might die, if you think that might be an interesting rumor for our story. And then the alternative is you can also choose to spread a rumor. And when a rumor is spread, that is also a resolve token that you can use. So for example, you could use like a rumor to have something bad happen to another character, and then we uncheck that resolve token. So that's the power of rumors, but there are also just narrative suggestions, things that we can talk about. So does anyone have something they would like to start with? as a rumor. All right, Trooper,
I was
lead
waiting
us
for
off.
that hand.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like one of the rumors going around Mayford is that perhaps Edward and Cuthbert are engaging in an affair. That's what people are saying. That's what people are saying.
Just want to point out that the top 2 rumors on our sheet. So there is a rumor on our sheet, which I feel like the audience should know about this, is that Cuthbert carried out a torrid affair with the groundskeeper of the Pembroke estate.
Maybe that was a mistake, and maybe it was actually Edward Pembroke all along. Because people, I mean, after all, Florence did say that Edward and Cuthbert knew each other somehow. Clearly, rumor and gossip says that they had some sort of affair.
It's true. It's true.
Oh dear.
All right, sorry, there's a garbage truck outside. It's very period. Oh, Bonsai, you have a rumor? Okay, so we'll
got a
do
rumor.
Trooper, Bonsai, and then we'll keep going.
Okay. Oh, is it my turn now?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. The rumor has it that there is an American traveling show that is going to go through town.
Ooh, I love that. So good.
Ooh. The circus is coming.
This is a circus, actually.
Murgles,
Yes.
do you have a rumor?
I believe there is a rumor going around that Charles is not quite as good a hunter as he continues to state he is. And in fact, the rumor is that he pays someone to hunt for him and he reaps the benefits.
Oh my goodness, that is so scandalous. I can't even handle it.
You cannot even scandal it?
Oh, get out. Okay. Lexi, do you have a rumor, or you can choose to spread one of our existing rumors?
I think that I would like to have heard about the traveling show, but I want to stay away from any other drama. I'm hearing rumors and I'm turning a blind eye.
Okay, so do you want to spread the rumor about the traveling show?
Yeah, I just want to be like, oh, mother, I heard about this traveling show. I'm very excited or not. We cannot decide. It could be.
I mean,
horrid.
it's not spreading in character. This is just meaning that, like, mechanically, the rumor is powerful.
Yes,
Excellent.
more powerful.
Okay.
Yes.
But you go twice because you went last. So, would you like to spread another rumor or start a rumor?
Oh, good God. I would like to start a rumor that Cuthbert is going away.
Then I'm only here briefly. I'm only here.
Cuthbert came to pick up a suit jacket he forgot and couldn't wear. That's why he showed up in his smoking jacket. And now he's back to Italy.
You know, I forget my jackets all the time in all sorts of places.
All right, so we go back. Murgles, do you want to spread or start another rumor?
Oh, yes. I would like to spread the rumor that Charles is paying someone to hunt for him.
I feel like
That is
Own rumor.
you can totally do that.
Can I?
You just walking
Yes, you
through town
can.
and dropping the rumor and then coming back and be like, oh, yes, I did. I did hear that rumor. Yes.
Oh, so true, so true, so true.
Indeed.
All right, Bonsai, do you want to spread a rumor or start a rumor?
Hold on, give me a second. I'm just
Get
Charles
it.
is a little flustered. Just a second. Actually, my rumor is that I've heard, of course, there was a giant European boar that invaded and, almost hit a child, but luckily Charles, myself, was there to save this child from this European boar.
All right, so Charles saved a child from a giant European boar. Okay.
Of course.
I did hear that.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's a giant European boar, which are much bigger
So
than
big.
regular boars.
And, Trooper, would you like to start a rumor? Or,
This is so hard because there are so many wonderful rumors, and also we can make more rumors, but rumors are more powerful if they're spread.
they are.
They are.
And
You know
bear in mind,
what?
if we don't spread them by next rumors and scandals, then the rumors kind of fade and they go away.
They become less powerful. That makes me very sad. You know what? I'm gonna spread a rumor. I'm gonna make a brand new rumor, a brand new one. I'm gonna make a brand new rumor. Why? Because I feel like my whole job is to cause a little bit of trouble, and the rumor that I'm gonna put out there is, I don't know if you heard this, but I have heard that Robert and Juliana that they're gonna break off their engagement.
What?
Yeah, yeah, I know. Look, I heard that the whole engagement, that there's something happened at the engagement party. Juliana's really upset with Robert, and she's so mad that she's gonna break up the engagement. That is what I heard. Yes, I heard it.
Ew, that's scary.
I mean, that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Oh, dearie, dearie me. Well, scandals in, rumors started. It is time for us to move on to the next section of our cycle of play, which is, as we refer to it, but I get this wrong every time, the epistolary. It's the letter writing portion. So, we're going to do, I think what we'll do is we'll do the epistolary, then we'll take a quick break, and then we come back for another novel chapter, which we'll probably do visitations. So there'll be smaller 2-people scenes, or 3 or 4, what, I don't know, smaller scenes. It won't be a party. But in the letter writing phase, we sort of imagine time passes. This way, a few days will take place. At the very least, we'll be jumping back in. Not immediately after the garden party, so a few days will pass, and you have time to write some letters back and forth. And each of you can send, each player can send up to two letters as any of their characters. So you can send one as a connection or as your main character. Or alternatively, instead of receiving a letter, you can instead of sending, you can spend a resolve token to receive a letter if there's something in particular you wanted to receive. Just costs you a resolve token. And that's the same for a connection or a main character. You don't have to write a letter if there isn't one that you want to write. That's totally okay. But if there is one, then this is an excellent opportunity for you to write or to receive a letter. And it can be from anyone or to anyone. Does anyone? Oh, Charles. All right. We've got Charles. We've got Edward. All right. So let's do Charles's letter, then Edward's letter, and then we go back around. And sometimes they snowball because people write letters to people here, and then you want to respond. And so Charles.
Can I actually use a resolve? I don't know if this is actually going to work, but the resolve token to confirm there is a certain stepmother at this circus that is traveling in the circus.
I think yes. I think that should be a resolve token. And I think that is probably clearly not good for Edward if a certain person is in
a certain person.
So, Murgles, Bonsai is offering you a resolve token, or offering Edward a resolve token, saying that a certain person that I believe we all discussed at the beginning of this is going to be part of this traveling show.
Okay. And just quickly, do I get the I receive the resolve token,
get the resolve
and then
token,
I can use it?
and then it's one that you can use whenever you want. You don't have to use it now. If you agree to that, you can also say no, in which case you don't get the resolve token, and that is not a fact.
Nah, I'll take it.
All right, so add a resolve token, check an extra box. Bonsai, spend one of yours.
Got it.
And then, who are you writing a letter as?
Well, I imagine this means must be a letter, since a resolve token is being spent, that feels like a letter to Edward.
Charles is receiving one, maybe? Or Edward is receiving a letter. One of those have to be. I'm okay with this being separate to the letters. It doesn't...
Oh, that's fair.
It's just a fact in the world that we have established. But Bonsai, what was the letter you wanted to send and/or receive?
I will go ahead and write a letter to my dearest Florence. But I was so unfortunate that we couldn't have our dance, because we were just so preoccupied with accompanying our best friends around, and I feel like her dedication, even though there was a bit of a party upset, but I hold her in deepest regard. Yours truly, Charles Alexander V. XOXO. XO.
Ooh! Oh, you put a little XOXO on that.
Just a little. Just very tiny. Very tiny.
A sprinkle of XOXO.
Yes.
It might have been doodles. Who knows?
Yeah, it's very hard. You could if by glance it might just look like a sudden spill of the writing tool, but yes. She's just plain hard to get. That's all.
All right. So that is a letter Charles sends. Edward, you had a letter you wanted to send.
Yes, I would like, in light of the news that I have just learned, I would like to send a letter to my mother. So, dearest mother, I have heard that a traveling show is on its way. I must tell you, I am afraid, for I believe that the she-devil is within their ranks. I do not know how successful I can be. I do not know how successful I can be in returning our place here with the she-devil here. I will respond to you as soon as I can, as I learn more. God be with us. Edward.
Oh, all right, the she-devil. Anyone else have a letter they want to send?
I would like to respond to Charles's letter.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes.
Dearest Charles, terribly sorry. We did not get the chance to dance at Juliana's engagement. I assure you, at the next engagement we attend, you will have my first 2 dances. And I hope we meet in better standing in times where perhaps family troubles are not so troublesome. P.S. I think your quill may be broken. I am sending attached a new one. I could not see for the smudges at the end of your letter. I hope it finds you well. Florence Ashby.
I love it.
I have a letter.
All right, what's your letter?
I would like to send a letter to the traveling troupe of American players.
Ooh. Okay, this is from Cuthbert?
Yes, this is from
Okay.
Lord Cuthbert Ashby. Dear, to the esteemed manager of the traveling...
Yeah, what is the name of this troupe?
Traveling
Anything.
theater, maybe?
But they need
Ooh.
the traveling...
Like a good.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, what do they call themselves? Like the
home-wrecking traveling show.
Tangled theater.
the Star Spangled Theater. Yeah.
Oh, how about just the Savannah Theater? Or the Savannah Players?
That makes them sound way classier. Do we think they're that classy?
It doesn't mean they are. They might want to sound classy, because many people want to sound classy.
Right.
Doesn't mean they are. To the esteemed manager of the Savannah Players, rumor has it that your amazing company will be traveling in the area, and perchance even in Mayford. I am Lord Cuthbert Ashby of the Ashby Estate, and I hereby invite you to do a command performance at our estate. My mother, the Viscountess, will pay you, of course, and I look forward to the entertainments that you might bring. Please do some sort of Shakespeare. Thank you very much, Lord Cuthbert Ashby.
Yes. Okay. Anyone else have a letter they want to write? Because I have one, at the very least.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
All right.
cry. I'm gonna
So
cry.
I'm gonna send a letter in response from the Savannah Players. Except this letter isn't because it's being addressed actually just to the Ashby Estate. So I think basically whoever wants to receive this letter at the Ashby Estate can spend a resolve token to receive it. But you'll say there's a letter from the Savannah Players, the general manager. The general manager of the Savannah Players has just sent a bill for their performance fees. And they also specify that you should make the guests aware that there is a splash zone, and do you have appropriate fire extinguishing equipment? Sincerely, General Manager, Savannah Players. We're delighted to perform at your institution.
just don't know if I want to spend a resolve token to have that letter go to. I do. I would like to spend a resolve token, please.
Who do you want to receive that letter?
I would like Charles to receive that letter because I want him to pay for it. Because like it'll be a thing that he would love for. It'd be like a gift for.
Well,
for Florence.
it's going to the Ashby estate, so I don't.
But it could be misdelivered.
Could be missed. Okay. All right. You want it to go. You're going to spend a resolve token. So Charles, you receive that letter from the Savannah players. Do with that what you will.
To me. She's hinting to me. This is what she wants. Of course I will pay it in full, because my love, Florence, she said she would have me at the next 2 dances. So this is obviously a way for me to signify that I am very serious about her.
I also feel like that my resolve token should probably go to Florence, to Lexi.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
It's probably the one who's going to be most upset by that. Do you accept this resolve token?
I accept.
That's a present.
and-
It's for you.
Does anyone else have the letter? Does anyone have a letter that they want to write?
I will go ahead and write a letter. Wait 1 second, I have to get into my letter writing outfit really quick. Write a letter to my dear son.
Oh no!
My dear son.
Oh my!
Dearest Cuthbert, your sister has informed me that you neglected to say hello to your mother. It would be if I'm using this word right, behoove?
Behoove? Yeah, behoove you. Behoove.
It behoove me that you will come to see me forthwith before you have a chance to available yourself to everybody else in the town. Sincerely, your loving mother, the Countess
Loving mother.
Victoria Ashby.
Ooh.
May I write a letter?
Of course.
Dearest sister, I just received a letter from our mother. I do realize that I'm in the far back end of the estate, and she could have just come to speak to me personally, but
You're
she
staying
hasn't.
in the guest house.
Yes, I'm staying in the guest house. But I also haven't come to speak to her, but I thought that I would. But I wanted to get your thoughts first about has she spoken of me? What does she... By the way, you haven't spoken to me either recently, so I'm just sending this letter because the last time I saw you at breakfast, you didn't speak to me at all. I thought that perhaps a letter might be a little bit more appropriate since you weren't speaking to me at breakfast. Nonetheless, I want your advice. I was just wondering, why do you think... Cross out. Dearest sister, I noticed you did not speak to me at breakfast. How very strange. Perhaps you were distracted. Nonetheless, Mother sent me a letter wanting me to come and visit with her in her drawing room. Do you have any advice? Your loving brother, younger, Cuthbert.
I'm just gonna say it right now. She is not responding to that.
Yep, that's very reasonable.
Fail.
Oh no, do we just see you setting it on fire? Like, oh, whoops, it fell in
Pick
the
it up,
bar.
I unfold it, I see who it's from, and I sneeze into the fire and it falls in. I didn't even get a chance to read it.
Oh,
Be catching
so
a cold.
So I have two letters to write. I guess I technically should only write one more, but whatever. I'm the facilitator. So you receive, Florence, you receive a short note from your dearest friend, Juliana. It just says, thank you so very much for taking Cuthbert out of the party. It was quite the experience, seeing your brother there again. It's been some time, you know. I've heard stories of him and the goings on, but that's not important right now. I would hopefully, if you're available sometime soon, like to speak with you about, well, some of my doubts that I'm having. So perhaps we can meet sometime soon. Yours truly, your dearest friend, Juliana Hunt.
May I respond?
Yeah.
Or should I just go straight over?
We can just have a scene if you want. That's fine. It's like,
I don't think
friendship.
No, okay, I'm gonna politely respond and set a date. So, dearest friend Juliana, thank you again for inviting me to your beautiful engagement party. So sorry about him, period. I hope the rest of the party went as splendidly as I know it will, with you as the party head. I hope the thing you need to speak to me about is not what I think it is. I will be over tomorrow as soon as possible. Lots of love. There's like a weird crinkling because I'm confused. Lots of love, Florence Ashby.
And the.
I think she's pregnant, to be clear.
Oh, good. Oh no, that's even better.
Next rumor to spread, everybody. That's the next one.
Shotgun wedding.
May I add,
and
P.S. Should I send the doctor?
feel free. Yes.
P.S. Should I send you our family doctor? Just give me the word. XOXO.
They're very discreet. The last thing, does anyone have any other letters they want to send or receive? No? Edward, you will receive a letter, although maybe it's not directed to you, but the groundskeeper, he'll deliver it to you, saying, "Oh, sir, I think you might need to see this." And the letter is from Mr. Pembroke, inquiring about the state of the estate and would it be ready to house some guests.
I immediately take to my library, pour myself the stiffest drink I have, stare deeply into the letter in front of the fireplace, drink the rest of my drink and throw it in the fire.
And on that scene, we shall take our break, and we will return to so much drama already. We've had one party. Whew. Wow.
Living for this right now.
So good.
It's an estate of affairs for certain. For certain.
So many estates, many affairs.
All the estates.
Affairs.
Oh my goodness.
Hello. We returned. Sorry, I was like looking at the screen and being like, oh, it should be here. No. Twitch has a delay, Lauren. You've been doing this for long enough to remember that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you. Hope you had a refreshing break, and thank you for continuing to be here as we resume our story of scandal and rumor and just, you know, shenanigans, to use the very British term. That's a thing that they say in England, I'm sure, right? So if you're just joining us, we are playing Good Society, which is a Jane Austen style RPG, or inspired by Jane Austen. It's designed to tell stories of relationship drama and scandal and rumor, and you know, less hack and slash and magic, and more hacking into people's reputation and slashing at the very fibers of their dignity, and magically destroying the social hierarchy. I don't know. I fell apart there. I tried. I got about halfway through that. So, I think let's do just like a quick little recap maybe at this point, now that we've been introduced all of our characters and we've done the first half of a cycle of play. So, my goal today, we'll see if we get through the rest of it in the next hour and a half, is we have another novel chapter, so some more character play scenes. We'll do another round of checking over everyone's reputation, see how that went, and then we'll write some more letters. And that is, we don't do rumors and scandals twice in a cycle, we just do it once. So remember, use those rumors. We all have resolve tokens to spend, make bad things happen to good people and also bad people. I don't know how many good people we have here. Except for Edward. I want to protect that precious bean. Just so precious. It's just his family. What was I? There was yes. So let's reintroduce who you're playing and who your main character is, because some of you have definitely seen this. Everyone has two characters, although I think most of you at this point have just focused on your main character, except we did have a Bonsai popped in with the Victoria Ashby, the Viscountess. So they may occasionally play as some of these other characters. They may not. It's really only when it's relevant. And then obviously I have a lot of different characters and connections that I'll be playing as the Facilitator. So everybody, let's kind of go around in a circle. We'll start with Bonsai. Who are you? And who are you playing? Who's your main character?
Hello, I'm Bonsai Baby. I am playing Charles Alexander Griffith V. I am, of course, the most handsomest person in this county. Everyone loves me, and despite rumors, I am very, very well at hunting. I'm the best hunter.
Yes,
this
no
town.
one hunts like Charles. No one punts like Charles.
Except for me.
Well, let's jump over there then, Murgles. Who are you playing as you sip your tea?
Sorry, I was muted.
It's
hello,
okay.
I'm Murgles. I am playing Edward Pembroke for y'all. And should I tell the history of Pembroke?
Don't need to, but it seems like there's some family scandal that maybe he's trying to work on.
Yes, he's a sweet, soft boy, dealing with some family scandal and trying to restore his family name. Yeah. I believe, to the best of his ability. So,
speaking of family names that are good, we get to the Ashby siblings. So, which sibling do we want first? Let's start with Florence.
I thought you were going straight to him. I was like, all right, Cuthbert.
Talking about ruining people's reputations.
Yeah, that's fair. Talking about not ruining reputations. Florence Ashby.
Speaking of upholding reputations, my name's Lex Games. I'm playing Lady Florence Ashby. She's a very accomplished, well-groomed young lady of 23, which is quite old.
Is she young though?
She is not. She's not. She's not married, to everybody's disappointment, and working on it. She's trying her best to keep everybody de-scandalized, including herself, in the terms of becoming an old maid.
And finally, not doing anything for de-scandalizing and rather scandalizing. Trooper, who are you playing?
I'm Trooper SJP, and I would like to point out that I am doing quite a lot for the scandalizing, just not in the getting rid of the scandal way, but more in the having the scandal way. That's here's what it is. Mayford is a small town and not much happens here. And I feel like more things could happen here because I'm going back to Italy, right? So let me just swan through, cause all sorts of scandal, and then go leave.
I mean, I heard a rumor that you're going back pretty soon.
Although maybe I'll stay around because that might be exciting. By the way, my sister's not talking to me and I don't know why.
Well, then that, I think, leads us into the next novel chapter. So let's do for this one, they call it Visitations, but essentially some smaller number of people scenes, so it's not a particular event. Does anyone have a particular interaction or scene they would like to have with anyone?
I want to see Juliana.
You would? Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay,
Let's forefront of my brain.
You receive this letter from Juliana. You send this letter back, and she's like, "Oh, no, I don't think I need the." But before she can even respond, you are knocking at her door. The servants let you upstairs. You're two young women. It's fine. No, two young women can never get up to anything scandalous.
Not.
And, they let you up to her room, and she's just sort of peacefully reading a book. I think perhaps maybe in the drawing room. Oh, Florence, you're here. I didn't know you were coming.
Well,
you did.
wrote
You
to me
announced.
and
Yes, of course.
Yes, I wrote back. I was, Juliana, I'm concerned. Are you unwell?
I'm feeling quite well, emotionally, not perhaps as well as I could be, but physically, I'm feeling quite good. Yes, thank you for coming so quickly. I did want to speak with you about, some of my doubts. As you are older and wiser than I am, perhaps you could talk me through some things.
Yes, of course. Do these things have anything to do with Robert?
They do, yes, actually, yes. That's what I wanted to speak with you about.
Oh, could we perhaps, Juliana, could we open a window? I'm feeling...
Oh, perhaps we can go around a quick turn about the garden, a little bit of a walk.
Yes, I would
It's good
love
for the
that.
humours.
Yes, of course. Yes. I'm just gonna take her arm as we
take your
walk
arm.
towards the...
Stroll through the garden.
So, what is
Are
it?
you feeling quite well? Oh, well, wait. You seem a bit flushed, really.
I am a bit flushed, but that is just my concern for my dear friend Juliana. Is there something you want to tell me?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about since the party, really, the engagement party, and I have to ask you a very important question. You have you ever had an engagement? Or a prospective one? Has there been someone
Well,
who've
there
been...
has been suitors, yes, but I
Close
have turned them
to?
all down, and I've never... What?
Someone you've been close to, a relationship that perhaps you've escalated in a capacity that may seem indecent to some. I just want to be very clear. Juliana has no idea what you believe, and she's just, I don't mean, indecent in that way. I just mean perhaps,
I assure you my reputation is much intact, Juliana.
Of course, I would never suggest that.
Your reputation, Juliana. You are my dearest friend, and you can tell me anything, and I would always love you, but I am concerned, Juliana.
Well, I just, I wondered if you had turned down an engagement previously, perhaps one I hadn't known about, but you had... I'm just concerned about Robert's friends.
Oh, well... Yes, what friend in particular? Okay. I think she's going to just take a... Oh, that tree over there is so beautiful.
Oh, quite all right.
Oh, yes, of course. There was a fly in my face.
Was there something else you were thinking I was going to ask you about?
Oh, no, I
Robert?
was a bit concerned you were ill, is all.
Of course.
Yes.
She just whoosh. Well, yes, but you see, I've been quite concerned about Robert and his friends since the party, and they all were there. He told me he would take care of the guest list, and I trusted him implicitly, but then...
Right,
well,
he seems to have invited my brother, perhaps?
Scandal! That was just the talk of the town.
Well, I think maybe, Juliana, we take this as a lesson to not let our husbands or future husbands dictate who comes to a party. I think that's a lady's job, and that perhaps we should not entrust men of such trivial tasks. See,
Yes,
you've done
of course, but
so poorly.
he did, but how would I best communicate to that to him? I can't exactly tell him I don't like your friends. It seems like I might be opening myself up to certain... Not to suggest that your family is a bad family to be associated with. Obviously, you're my best friend, but your
And my
brother's
family is a
done
great family.
quite a number. And then there's Edward Pembroke, and he has a reputation, his family and
Horrible.
the scandal that happened.
Quite atrocious, actually, yes.
Robert is friends with both of them. who else might he become friends with as we get older? I can't trust his judgment at all.
Yes, and do you know anything about his past, Juliana? Because I thought he was quite gentlemanly, and now I'm getting quite concerned, actually.
As far as I know, he's boring. No, I don't think she said that. As far as I know, he's the Harrisons. They're a wonderful family. Very mercantile. They own the factory, I guess. That seems like a thing someone might own. The cotton, the mill
Yes,
down
of course, and no scandals, no...
No, but he seems to have
He was
terrible taste in friends.
Yes, raised differently. Perhaps his parents allowed him to have such terrible friends. Are they alive still, his parents?
Yes.
Perhaps you could talk to his mother or something about it.
Oh, that
Maybe
would
she's
seem
also
quite
had...
forward of me.
Oh, well, yes, not like that. I was thinking maybe you have a conversation where the friends get brought up and she goes, oh, yes, and then you know.
You are so wise. You really have learned so much. Yes. That I clearly have not had the time to pick up on. I'm
Yes,
so glad you're my friend.
Yes, of course.
Anyway.
Anything. I would love to be at your disposal. I would also consider maybe
of his friends.
separating.
Are you suggesting I shouldn't go through with the engagement?
No, I meant separate his friends. Oh, Juliana, I would never suggest such a terrible thing. You're a great
goodness,
man.
I
love each other
wouldn't
very much.
I wouldn't want to end up in a position in a few years and have no. Anyway, perhaps you. Speaking of his friends, there was one that seemed quite put together comparatively. No scandal, no history as much.
Yes.
You had a conversation with Charles, yes?
I did have a conversation with Charles. Yes, I did. He wrote me a letter afterwards. Would you like to see it, Juliana?
Oh, yes, of course I
Tell me,
would.
at the bottom here, is there something wrong with his hands? It seems he cannot write properly. I thought maybe his quill broke. I sent him a new one. Here you go.
And she looks at this and she's like, you may be older and wiser than me, but you do not see someone Xing and O'ing at the bottom of a letter.
Xing and he would not do such a brash thing as kiss and hug me on the bottom of the letter.
Well, it's a poetic one, like your brother. Oh, he's a poet. I heard about that book.
Yeah, let me see that letter. I must crumple it immediately.
I'm not saying he may. It could have just been a problem with his quill, but perhaps there's something there.
Perhaps. I did write that next time we see each other, we may have 2 dances at the beginning of the event.
Goodness, 2 dances.
Well, see, I had to leave your party early, and I could not sign my dance card for Charles, so... That's all. Maybe, perhaps we will have to arrange something in which dancing occurs.
Dearest Florence. Ooh. Arranging something with her. And she was about to say something, and then she just like, perhaps, we could have a ball or some sort of party. I do like parties. Yes. We shall have to think on this. I was going to say that perhaps you should endeavor to find yourself in the same location as him at some point. Unless you're not as interested as I thought. I wouldn't want to force you into something, but time is short.
I'd like to spend a resolve token, if I might.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna Lexi, because you're my sister and I care about you very much. I would just like to throw this out there. I'm just gonna throw this out there. You have a negative reputation tag, and that is naive. Mm-hmm. I would like to posit that perhaps because you are so naive, you do not realize that you are being set up with Charles, and that basically your friend here is trying to get you set up in a kind of slightly romantic space with Charles, and you have no idea that that's what's going on, and so perhaps you might say yes to a thing that is meant to be romantic, but you have no idea that it is. How do you feel about that?
That's fine with me. Does she need to think that I don't know it's romantic?
No.
She thinks I know it's romantic.
That's up to you. All I'm saying is that I would like you to be able to get rid of your negative reputation tag to get yourself set up to be on some kind of exciting romantic event with Charles, but because you don't realize it.
I accept.
Okay.
So you can get rid of your negative, naive reputation tag.
I'm so wise now, clearly.
And actually, you also get a resolve token.
Nice.
Ooh.
Because you get the resolve token.
Oh, that's right. For the
Yep.
so carry on.
yeah,
I just
there you
wanted
go.
to.
Yeah, I like it. So, well, let's think about the ball later or some other party. But perhaps you would come to afternoon tea with myself and Robert. And you know, we can all get to know each other and you can maybe help me understand a bit more about his friends.
Of course, yes, of course. I would love to.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll send you the invitation as soon as I get it planned.
Oh, perfect. And if I can bring anything at all, Juliana, or help in any way?
Just yourself in your prettiest frock.
Of course, yes, I can do that. I'm
Good,
so
good.
glad you are in the best of health. Thank you for having me for tea
Yes.
today.
Yes, your concern was so touching.
Yes,
I appreciate
of course.
it. Thank you.
Anything for you, Juliana.
And we'll fade out of that scene. Who else wants a scene?
Could I talk to my mother?
Ooh.
I mean, you tell me, where do you talk to your mother?
I imagine it's probably in her. She probably has like a really nice drawing room where she, stays all the time. And I feel like I've been on the other end of the estate because we are peerage. We have a very large estate. I feel like I've been on the other wing and have just not seen her since I've been in. And I feel like I should go to her side, her wing of the estate, and meet her in her drawing room.
Viscountess Victoria Ashby, there's a knock on your door. You know, and a servant comes in and says, your son is here. Would you like to speak
Thank
with him?
you,
Shall I
William.
let him in?
Yes, please
Yes,
do.
right.
Thank you.
Let me go in and speak with the lady.
Thank you, William. Mother!
Cuthbert, wait.
Cuthbert?
Cuthbert.
Very uncouth, actually. What? I kiss her hand. Mother?
Yes, I see that you are in town, and of course you made another spectacle of yourself.
Oh, Mother, it was just a little bit of fun at a party.
Yes, I know you have your wilds. So, I saw that you had a published poetry book.
Yes, Mother, did you read it?
My son. Why are you here, not across the water?
Well, Mother, Italy is beautiful. It is charming. I love it. It is full of life and things to do, and Italy is amazing. And I would love so much to be in Italy right now. However, your last letter to me, Mother, was somewhat alarming.
I do not ask much of you, my boy. I know I cannot change you. You are going to be the peacock that you are going to be. But you could just do it under a different name.
I could, but why would I? Mother, Lord Byron publishes under his name, and he was in Parliament. But really, Mother, I'm here for really one reason. In your letter, after I published my book of poetry, which I dare say was quite good, rather than sending me a thank you letter or a letter saying that you were proud of me or that you loved my poetry and that you loved the imagery and the way that I described jasmine gardens and you disinherited me, Mother. And that simply cannot do.
Well, if you were smarter, you know, I know of your tendencies. And
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with those tendencies. But the problem is that you chose to ride down than up. There would have been a problem if you chose something other than the dirt, my son.
Mother, that seems so long ago, but most importantly, disinheritance seems like a very extreme step, Mother. It seems really... I mean...
You will still get an allowance. You still get allowance. I know you are smart, my child. But I feel like the name Ashby really must be passed down to your lovely sister, who seems to make smarter choices.
Mother, she's not even married, and she's older than I am.
Wine sometimes takes time, and sometimes people need to make smart choices to gain reputation than lose reputation. At least I know your sister will never choose anybody poor and scandalous to dishonor this family name.
Mother, he might have been poor, but he was... Sorry, Mother. Excuse me, I spoke out of turn. How about this? How about... if I can get my dearest sister married to somebody appropriate, you reinstate my inheritance, and I can take on the estate. And I will go back to Italy as Lord Ashby. I do so would love to be a Viscount.
I mean, your sister is not quite. I've been hinting to her. Maybe if you can help, there is this young man who has his family is very well in money, and maybe you could help out with. I mean, if you could get it done, I know you are a smart son. And his name, I think you might have known him, Charles.
Charles. He would be a good match. Yes.
But only if you can. But if not, then your sister gets the estate, and you just get an allowance, and I want you off to Italy afterwards.
Mother, I shall have my sister married to Charles Griffin, and I, Griffiths, the fifth, and I shall be reinstated in my inheritance. It is a pleasure to see you, Mother, and please note, I do love you dearly.
Yes, but kiss me.
Mother?
And then when you're back in Italy, I do hear that the ruling Viscount over there has very similar tendencies that maybe you might want to try out. Just saying. You know, if you're going to have, if this works out and you're going to have the name, remember, my son, ride up, not ride down.
All right. There will be a wedding. There will be a wedding. And I will exit stage right, prepared for some plotting.
I love how Bonsai set up her connection character to basically just help out her main character. Like, you're just wingman for yourself over there?
Hey, Mom didn't even have to really suggest it. I was already there. I was like...
I mean, there's only so many eligible men.
Who are rich, eligible...
Oh, well, I mean, you know... Someone might show up soon.
and also
could.
super wealthy. Super wealthy.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. The wealthy part's pretty helpful.
And I heard he was a pretty decent hunter. Well, I heard mixed things, actually.
I've heard mixed things. At the very least, he's an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. A true capitalist, really. So, Merkles, did you have a scene you wanted to have?
Oh boy. Actually, I don't think so. I think Edward is just walking the heath, waiting for the next thing that he's forced to go to in order to keep up appearances.
Oh, so it sounds like his method of repairing the family name is very passive.
Currently, yes.
Okay.
Wait, there's got to be a resolve token in here. I feel like there's a resolve token that I am willing to give this resolve token. If our Edward is walking the heath,
It's true.
I feel like someone, perhaps on her way home from visiting Juliana, might accidentally come across Edward. I just feel like there could be a chance encounter.
All right. I'll take that. I'll take that resolve token.
I will give you a resolve token.
Sorry, my hunting dogs.
I almost want to say, because I feel like, Florence, you would have taken a carriage.
Exactly.
To and
What am I
from.
going to do? Shout out of the carriage?
Edward, perhaps in your
carriage can be broken
sadness, in
down.
your brooding,
Yes.
you step out across, you're crossing from heath to heath, you step out across the road, and you weren't
Yes.
paying attention. You didn't look both ways.
Not at all.
And
No,
the
not at
carriage,
all.
we see you step out into the road, foot hits the ground, we hear, "Ah!" and the carriage comes to a sudden stop, Lady Florence. And, are you all right, sir? The servant calls out to the carriage driver.
Oh, yes. Ever so
Florence,
sorry.
you
I ever so sorry, sir. I will
You
be
look
on
so
my way
deeply
now.
lost in thought. Please, get in. Yes, yeah, lady, yes.
Did you hit someone, William?
No, close call.
Oh, is that?
Oh.
I'm so sorry, Lady Ashby. I will be going. Please continue what you were doing.
Lady Ashby, perhaps you could offer this gentleman a ride.
Of course. Since William almost hit you, of course, please join me in the carriage. We can give you a ride home.
Well, all right, if you are to be so kind.
Monologue token! I've got one. I'm gonna spend it on Edward right now. I want a monologue, internal monologue.
So everyone
it.
has one monologue token to spend on someone else in order to find their inner thoughts in a given moment. It doesn't have to be a long monologue. It can be short. Sometimes it's just internal screaming. But you get to spend, you each have one to spend to get someone else to monologue.
Okay.
So Edward, as you step in, what is your internal monologue?
This is my internal. This is what's happening inside of my mind, right? Okay. It is very improper for this to be happening, and it is my fault. It is my fault. But it is so good to see her. No, it's all right. Keep it together. We'll be fine. Just be polite. We mustn't. Just think of the family. So much left to do. And that's the end of my internal monologue.
It's good. It's good. Did the two of you just sit in silence in the carriage?
I think until I'm like, are you all right? You've been staring at that window kind of for a minute, Edward.
Oh.
Is there something on your mind?
No, my lady. Not at all. Thank you so much for taking me home. It is quite generous and kind of you, as you always are.
Of course. If there is anything I can do, perhaps call a doctor. I'm not sure if the horse
Oh, no, I'm
stepped on you
certainly-
in some way.
No, I wasn't. Not a scratch. I did. Did you enjoy the party?
No, actually. I mean, I'm sure you're well aware of family scandal, but sorry. Oh, I didn't mean.
Yes, Lady
Well, you know
Ashby, I am
Cuthbert.
indeed very familiar with family scandal. I like Lord Cuthbert, I should tell you. He's entertaining. Perhaps.
Yes, a little too entertaining.
If I had a monologue token, I would spend one now on Lexi, but I don't have one.
Do I?
Monologue token.
Do I have
like
one?
to spend-
You'd both
Oh.
do. Bonsai and Murgles have one. Who wants to spend it?
All right, my hunting dog is going off. But yes, I will spend a monologue token for
Okay.
for
All right, Lexi.
inner thoughts.
What is Florence thinking right then?
I think Florence feels just awful. I can't believe that I
insinuated that he has such a terrible family, and I also can't believe that I'm alone in my carriage with him. But I almost killed him, so it feels fair. I hope he doesn't think terribly of me, but also I'm a wee bit concerned that he is fond of Cuthbert, because Cuthbert is horrific so, at this point in his life. So I'm hesitant to see him as sane at this moment in time. And maybe a bit concerned knowing Cuthbert's tendencies.
I also sort of feel like when you're like, I'm alone in this carriage, there's like a lady in waiting, your sort of your handmaid is just in the corner just like doing embroidery.
Don't forget the rumor.
So she doesn't count.
And don't forget the rumor about Edward and I.
Have I heard the
Oh, it's all everywhere.
Everyone's heard, any character can have heard the rumors.
Oh, have you been...
She's done thinking.
She's like, have you seen Cuthbert recently, Edward?
Oh no, not at all, my lady. I must be a bit forward with you. May I?
I suppose.
I'm sorry. I've heard this rumor as well.
Yes. If
Anyone
you want
can
to.
choose to have heard it. Yeah. If it's
you
on the
like.
rumor and scandal sheet, up to your character. Up to you.
Great. My lady, it would be quite... How do I say? What you may be hearing, it's simply not true.
I am... Thank you for your honesty. I would consider in the future, perhaps, if you would like to stay away from the rumor, staying away from Cuthbert.
Well, all right. I believe I can do that.
Unless
but I
you
do have
somehow
one-
think that you could teach him to not be Cuthbert. I'm not sure. It's possible
Yes.
at this point in time.
You hear hunting dogs in the distance.
I should ask. How is Charles?
Oh, I haven't spoken to him very often. I barely got to see him this dance, actually.
Oh, I got. Excuse me, my lady. I was under the impression that. Perhaps. Never mind.
Oh.
Yes. Well, I believe I'm getting close to. I can walk from here. Thank you very much. Thank you for the help and the assistance, and for nearly, but not entirely, running me over. Have a good rest of your day.
Yes, of course. You as well. Have a wonderful day, Edward.
I would like to. I just sort of hesitate a moment and look deeply into her eyes, and then I leave the carriage.
The servant looks up. Looks back down at her embroidery. Oh, they share a moment. You exit the carriage, and driver takes our dearest Florence the rest of the way home. So, I think... I was just sort of wondering, Cuthbert, what are you up to? Do you go anywhere next?
I want to know about Charles.
Yeah,
my
Charles.
buddy.
That's also true. Charles, what have you been doing?
For me,
Yeah.
I would say that I am, of course. I'm sure there's a hunting lounge area that people really hang out
Oh,
with.
there's like a country club.
Yes, country club. I am
equivalent.
at the
Yeah.
country club, of course. Doing very, very manly things at the country club.
Manly at the country club. Yes.
At the church. And also caring for my hunting hounds as well. At the country club.
Good doggos.
Yes.
Good doggos. Well, if we have no other visitations that anyone wants to have, then that's okay. We can move to reputation. Trooper, you feel it seems like you got something, but
I just want that tea with Charles and Florence. That's just what I want. I want
That's
it.
gonna be. That's a thing. That's gotta be a.
I just want them getting married. That's fine. That's fine. Look, if they get married, I'm re-inherited. That's all I want. It's fine. I can wait. I can wait.
Ooh. I think. You know what? Actually, Charles is just gonna go go walking around Edward's estate for a bit. Just
Ooh.
going around. Just, you know, maybe
I'm
bump
sorry,
into
excuse
a
me.
gardener by any chance?
So you perhaps take your dogs out hunting.
Yes.
And or just you're taking them on a walk, get them to stretch, and you sort of make your way past the edge of the Pembroke estate, and you see nearish in the distance a young gentleman in age 27, so not slightly younger than you. He is stout and well muscled, like clearly working class. Like he is used to hard labor, or not hard labor, but labor. He digs in the dirt. He's got dirt stains on his face. His shirt sleeves are rolled up. His top buttons are undone. There's sweat dripping as he's clearly been keeping the grounds. He's got his wellies on and his trousers tucked into his wellies. Probably a single suspender, and then the other one's not quite done properly, and he has sort of dark brown hair and piercing hazel eyes, and he sort of brushes back some sweat from his face as it runs his hands through his hair, and he looks up and he sees you, Charles, and I feel like one of your dogs maybe runs over to him. Just so anyone's
good sir.
wondering, he looks like Ewan McGregor. Like there's a very specific picture of Ewan McGregor in a kilt that you need to reference for this, and he's like, oh, it's a good dog here, and he looks up. Oh, sir, how may I help you?
Hello. I'm sorry, I forget what. Gardener.
McDarmid.
McDarmid. Yes. You
Gregory.
You seem to Gregory. Yes.
Oh, of course. I'm so sorry, Mr. Griffiths.
Yes. I remember these fields when I used to come here often back in the day, as you know. You seem to be keeping up in the world. Do you know if the masters in this state,
No, Mr. Pembroke's. Oh, yeah. What is your father's name?
My father's name?
Yeah. Do you give us a name? What do we think he's called?
Do we have a Robert already?
We do.
We do.
Have a Robert.
Do have a Robert.
Yes, we do. Sorry, it was on the back of my head.
It's a good name.
How about Richard?
Richard.
Richard Pembroke.
Does he go by Dick?
He goes by Dick.
Mr. Pembroke? No, Mr.
Yes.
Pembroke's not here. Is there something you needed that I can help you with?
No. I just looking around.
It's been a while since we've seen you around here. It's been a few years. I taken over after my father. He's retired, but we still keep in the Pembroke grounds.
Yes. Very nice estates. Well,
We do what we can.
I don't know if you heard the rumors that I've been hearing. I just wanted to check because, of course, Edward was a good friend of mine.
I
Yes,
try
but
and
heard-
stay out of the rumors. My job's not to be involved with the management class. The management, it's just sort of. I keep the grounds. It's my role here. I've been.
Are you sure this? I'm sure you would know. I mean, of course, I wouldn't be spreading such things around. Of course, with the Cuthbert coming in and people saying things about Edward and Cuthbert. I just wanted to check over my dear friend. But if you have no reason to know anything about that,
I do what I can to stay out of these things because it just leads to trouble. Like I said, it's not my job. It's not my
Oh,
job.
all right. Well, sir. Well, that is very good. Well, keep your good job, sir. I see. I must go after my hunting dogs. You have a lovely
Oh,
day.
they're hunting dogs. I didn't realize. Sorry. Didn't realize they were working right now.
And he just rolls off without any acknowledgement of.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I mean, there's that rumor. You know.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Oh. That's all. That's all I have to say.
Wonder where he heard that rumor.
All right.
Everywhere.
Well, I think that can resolve our novel phase. And that will bring us to some more considerations of our reputation. So, and it's okay to say your reputation didn't change at all, but do you think does anyone think their character gained a positive tag or a negative tag?
Do you think I gained a negative tag from letting him in my carriage?
Probably.
I did allow you to have
The servant?
there was someone in the carriage with you, so
technically
you were not alone. That was not because I did sort of force that on you. With like, oh, come in the carriage.
Okay, then I'm gonna say I stayed the same then.
Okay.
I think I also stay the same.
I think I get a positive tag.
Yeah.
I do, because I was acting in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so. First off, anytime I have to act within society's conventions is considerable hardship, but just for the record. But I think that sort of making the deal that I would try to get my sister married would really, I just don't care about that at all. But that I would sort of basically do some of my mother's wishes in order to get re-inherited, I think would give me a positive tag.
What's your positive tag?
I want to say that my positive tag is. This is hard because that's not a word that has a positive connotation. Scheming's not a good word.
Scheming is not, no.
not a good word.
Astute, perhaps? Or,
I was thinking dutiful, like a dutiful son, even though I really am just so terrible most of the time. But I did what my mom told me to do. How
Yeah,
about
that could work.
somewhat obedient?
it's not positive either.
Somewhat a
Dang it.
positive.
No, that is fair.
What if you put down like family oriented?
Family
Family
yes.
oriented.
Rather you
Family
whether
adjacent.
You want to make up
think
with
it or
your
not.
sister, don't you?
I do. Yes, I'm going to go with family oriented.
I do like shrewd, devoted, scheme hatchery.
I'll go with.
Voted is a great one. To what cause we do not know.
Devoted to my own cause.
I will go with devoted. I am a devoted. I'm devoted. But I don't think I actually did anything terribly scandalous to give me a negative tag today.
Okay. All right, devoted. It's nice. Very nice. You racking up those tags?
I am.
Everyone else
Ew.
stayed the same, right? Or Charles?
Pretty
You
much.
didn't.
Or Charles? Well, I don't know, because like I didn't really have that long of interaction. I'm just stirring
Yeah.
the pot.
You are stirring
Yep.
the pot, and it's the best.
That's legit too. Sometimes you end up playing your connections more. You're like this main character.
Connections.
Edward?
Yeah, I mean, if I really wanted to stretch, I could say that I made a sacrifice or denied my own desire to uphold the values of my place of origin. But I don't, because yes, I held back quite a bit.
It's true. I think that you could.
Yeah? Okay.
Ooh.
In that case, I will say,
I mean, I feel like you're always acting in the way that obedience to society's conventions, but it is a hardship for you.
yeah. Yeah.
It's
okay.
alright. You can also choose to stay the same.
I think I'll stay the same. I feel like it's a bit of a stretch. I don't think I did like that much. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we have our final epistolatory for this cycle.
And there
And then we
have been
get to do
two monologue
a little
tokens
bit
that
of
have not been
updates.
spent.
And we do have 2 monologue tokens, which you can spend. We can also set a little scene to utilize any of the last monologue tokens that anyone has. So I think we haven't had a monologue from Charles and Cuthbert. So we've had Florence and Edward's monologues. But letters. More letters to send and to receive. Oh yes, please, Charles, and/or whoever you're sending or receiving this as.
Actually, the mother is going to be writing a letter.
Ooh.
Mother, well, it's going to be a little memo she's going to ask William to give to her daughter.
Oh, of course.
Ooh.
My dearest Florence, I have spoken with your brother, and I can assure you that he will be moving away soon. But I feel like he may be up to something, but I'm not too sure. But all I know is that, of course, I have allowed you to wait and make proper choices, and I know you will, of course, bring the family name up more into the world. I rest assured. But, just to say, as long as you secure your own relationship, of course, with the name going up, then nothing shall be the problem. Just keep an eye on your brother. Love dearly, your mother.
I love that you just sit in your drawing room all day as a mother and you just don't talk to anyone and you just have the servants deliver letters to your children.
Who are in the same house, in the same estate.
Yeah. It's a big estate and she's
Okay.
old.
She's 39.
She's
I mean,
39.
Very
That's,
old.
it's a long walk from one end to the other. Florence, you received that letter from your mother.
Yes, I have. I do not feel the need to respond, as I could probably speak to her at breakfast, and also I am annoyed. I think that I'll write back one short note that says, "Thank you for your letter, Mother. Love you so much. See you at dinner." And I'm like, "Here, William, take this."
Trucks the letter back across the estate.
I have a short
Any other-
missive. Oh, but
You have a short
please,
missive? Yes,
after
Edward.
Murgles.
Margles.
Oh my goodness. I would like to write a letter to my dear friend Heinrich. Or Heinrich, as we can say. Hallo Heinrich. Guten Tag. I believe I'm in a bit of a mess. You see, the she-devil is returning. I don't know how to handle the situation alone, and frankly, I could use your advice, as this land is strange, with its strange rules and strange connections, and frankly, I'm a bit overwhelmed. But I could use some of my good old friends' advice, so please write to me post-haste. Dear Edward.
Well, Heinrich, a letter. It takes a while to get there because it's got to go all the way to Prussia, but it arrives. I think all of you will receive. And it's not so much a letter as in whatever way you might get news, perhaps the paper. All of you will see that there's soon to be a performance, a presentation by the Savannah Players at the State of Lady Viscountess Ashby. It's going to be quite the affair. You should come prepared. The Savannah Players are looking forward to your attendance. And it's got a poster and there's an acrobat on it, and Edward. That even though it's just a silhouette, even though it's just a figure,
I could recognize those filthy
profile.
ankles anywhere.
Not the ankles, no!
In fact, an entire leg. It's Americans.
Yep. Yep.
I go home and I drink some more.
In a broody way, though, right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It is now raining.
Spitter patters
Yes.
on the window.
I'm going to write just a little brief note. And I will say, William, would you deliver this note, please?
Yes, of course.
Yes, to the Pembroke estate. No, not to Edward. To
Richard. I didn't believe Mr. Pembroke had returned.
not to Richard.
No, to Eleanor, Lady Miss Pembroke. I don't think she
just
had returned.
just hand it to the groundskeeper. He'll know who to deliver it to.
You mean Mr. McDarmid? We're well acquainted. All of us servants know each other. That's how it works.
Oh, really? Oh, all right. Yes. Well, just deliver it to him, will
We
you?
gossip about you behind your backs, of course.
How funny. And the missive goes, Gregory, I shan't sign it, but you know exactly who this is from. I'm back in town from Italy. It has been a few years. I have thought of you often. I am enclosing a book of poetry that I wrote. I thought you might like it. There's like you can see like the ink is drying out as if he's been waiting to sort of like for a while, and then like the fresh ink comes in so the letters are darker again. I do so like my constitutionals on the heath. I expect to be walking among them again, probably tomorrow, around noon. Oh, knowing me, probably 3. I don't wake up that early. If you might be on the grounds, it would be lovely to see you. You know who. That's all it says.
I gotta decide if he's gonna respond. All right.
That's all.
Any other? That's the only letter.
I have a question.
Spicy. Yeah.
Can I write a letter but as Millie instead of myself?
Millie. Oh yes, of course. Yeah, you can write a letter as your main character or as your connection. So tell us a little bit about Millie, because we haven't met Millie. Oh my God, Millie has a bonnet. We haven't met Millie
Millie
yet.
has a bonnet, first of all. I've been holding onto this bonnet for a very long time. I'm very excited to be able to use
excited.
Millie is a very small, but well, she's got a good family. She's the town gossip. Everybody knows not to go directly to Millie, but if they need to talk to Millie, they will talk to Millie. So Florence is friendly with her. She knows everybody, and she is very in love with Charles.
Just so in love with him.
Very in love with Charles. Charles knows. Everybody knows. Florence knows. Cuthbert knows.
Millie spread a few rumors about it.
I'm in Italy, and I still know.
Tell everybody that they're dating, but it's not working.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Millie would like to write a letter to Florence and say, Florence, it's Millie. We haven't spoken in so long. I'm so excited to hear from you. Yes, I heard you were having some sort of performance at your estate. So hoping to be able to attend. I also heard that perhaps it was your brother. Is he a performer in the American troupe? As I remember, Florence, he was a poet. I had absolutely no idea. Anyways, how wonderful, nice to have him back. Love you so much. XOXO, Millie.
Oh, poor Florence.
I just want you all to know I love Florence. I just want that to be out there, even though she has a hard life.
She does. Well, hard life, you know.
Rich, white, and well set off.
It's really a lot. So difficult. So difficult for her. Does any other main characters or any other connections have letters?
I will send
people.
a letter
Ah.
to Robert. Robert, my good man. It is me, Charles, writing you again. Because how is the stallion going? I hope it is going well, and you and Juliana, very lovely individuals that I can't wait. I think, though, because of the mishap that happened the last party, I believe that we should have another celebration without any unexpected guest coming over, but another hunting. I suggest a hunting party, my good friend, and to prove once and for all that there is no hardship between us, I say you should invite Edward as well. It would be a very jolly good time, and it would be quite sporting if we had a competition about it. Please let me know if you believe this is a very smashing idea, Charles.
Well, it's obviously, it's perfect thing to do, really. Yes, he'll suggest that maybe that may happen. I'm just writing down some wonderful suggestions of scenes we're going to have at the start of the next episode, and then I think the second half will be the arrival of the performance trip. We can slow burn that out because that's gonna cause some scandal. One thing, Edward, that you probably also noticed on that poster, the advertisement. Not only did you recognize those legs, you did see that the general manager, the production is being funded. The producers are an R. Pembroke. Is the producer. So just in case you hadn't noticed that, I just want you to know that was the producers of this production.
Yes, thank you very much.
But then obviously it's getting paid for by the Ashby estate, because they got sent the bill. Although no, actually the bill got sent to the Pembrokes, so you also got the bill. It's real
glorious. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We have the best look. The Ashby Estate has the best sort of stage area.
Yeah.
Like Mayford's not very big. If you want like an event, it's gonna be at the Ashby Estate.
Because you don't want to have it in a field.
Yes.
No.
Certainly not. That's my walking spot anyway.
It's going to be such a finely established theater troupe. Of course we would want it to be.
Also, there's only one groundskeeper for the Pembroke estate, so I don't think he can keep all those grounds.
Exactly.
Space, really.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I think, Cuthbert, you get a letter.
Oh.
It's not signed.
Oh.
But it's in a penmanship that I think you would recognize because it's not as fancy, right? It's written in a hand of someone who was taught to read and write, but it's not cursive. It's not handwriting. It's simple and it's to the point. Those days are behind us. I've learned lessons, and I will not be party to your shenanigans. And I think Cuthbert monologue took it.
Cuthbert monologue.
One more thing to add, and you can decide which poem this is. He is the book has not been returned, but one single page was ripped out of the book, and it is a poem. And this is a poem in which it is, it's a very romantic poem, and it's probably about someone who was betrayed, and their heart was toyed with, and so they've, but they found peace now, and they've let the past go. All right, monologue token, Cuthbert.
Why would he send this in particular poem? I don't understand. I've never betrayed him. Yes, I left. I was sent away, but... My mother would... I'm so close to being re-inherited. I could get everything back again. I could be the future Viscount of Ashby. I just need to get my sister married, and she has no other prospects. It should be easily done. I do feel somewhat bad about betraying my sister this way. It doesn't really matter who you marry, and you don't marry for love anyway. You just get married to someone. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then she'd be taken care of, and I'd be the Viscount, but if I did that, then mayhaps I'd never be able to see Gregory again. Is it even worth it? I hate these people in Mayford. They drove me out with their small-mindedness. It serves them right, whatever scandal I bring to them. I just never meant to bring any scandal to Gregory. If I could get him to forgive me, then maybe... I know he says he doesn't want to see me, but I shall see him.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh my god.
That was very good. It's very, all right. I think we have one more monologue. So, okay, this is for you, Charles. I would like to offer you a resolve token. That I don't know if perhaps you received this, but you maybe I don't think you received this. I think by accident this particular item gets delivered to Edward, because things seem to be constantly by accident going to Edward, so it seems to make sense. And it's a note that maybe is fairly innocuous, but it's attached to like a brace of pheasants. And it's just a brace of pheasants with your name on them, or probably your last name, and then it's attached as a bill, like a price for those pheasants.
I'll take it.
Are you all right with that going to Edward by accident in exchange for a resolve token?
Yes, I will allow it. It'd be great.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay. All right, so take a resolve token. I'm spending one of the facilitator's ones, and Edward's, I think at some point, one of McGregor or some other servant comes up to you and says, "We got a delivery for a brace of pheasants. Did you order them? It looks like the order was made out for a Mr. Griffiths."
A Mr. Griffiths?
Yes, perhaps they spelled your name wrong, or he gave them to
I
the
will
ship.
sign for them. Oh, perfect. Perfect, yes, thank you.
Good. Pheasant for dinner.
That. Yes. Oh,
And he just hands you the note that was attached to them.
I
And
take the note
and the name, it is from there was this one that like popped up early in chat. Walter Manley
Yes.
of the Manly Hunt, the Manly Game Society, or Manly Game.
Manly.
Ooh, I would like. Can I? Since that has happened, can I quickly write a letter?
Yeah.
I would like to write a short letter. Dear Mr. Griffiths, thank you ever so much for your very kind gesture of a brace of pheasants. We enjoyed them for dinner and look forward to enjoying them more tomorrow. I should be certain to share the kindness that you have shown on me today with all that I speak to in the next upcoming days. Many regards, Edward.
Do we want to spend that last monologue token for Charles?
Yeah.
I'd like to retroactively. Well, it's not mine because I've already spent mine. I want that monologue token to happen when he left Gregory. I want to know what he was thinking in that moment.
Well then, do we have to do 2 monologue tokens?
You pick one. It's whoever's token it is can decide the moment that we get the monologue for. Who has the one that they haven't spent?
I have not spent one.
Okay, so Murgles, what monologue moment do you want out of Charles?
I am so sorry,
Do it.
Cuthbert. I would like to know what flashes through Charles' mind when he receives my thank you note.
Oh.
That fool, he sent pheasants to the wrong place, but that is fine. We can take care of this. It is funny. It is... I totally meant it to give it as a gift. That is, of course, the right and proper thing to do. But some days, I am tired of this charade. I just wish I didn't have to put on such a show. But being raised in a family of men always... Why was I a man? Why am I born a man? That is enough.
Oh no, Charles! Oh no! Oh, I wasn't expecting that! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, Charles!
I give you the biggest hug, Charles.
Now I have to like him!
Whew. Well, I feel like that's a moment for us to move to the upkeep phase. We've used all our remaining monologue tokens. Really, at this point, we wrap up. I think no one needs to refresh monologue tokens. I refresh my resolve tokens. Oh, sorry, all of you refresh your monologue tokens, so when we start the next cycle, you will have another monologue token. And that basically concludes the first cycle of play. So we will come back next time to a lot. Got a lot of scenes. We got a lot of stuff to go over. So
I feel like I'm just like...
This confirm. I was gonna draw a diagram for you all of like the relationships that we've now established because there are a lot. Just to make sure everybody in chat's aware. But yeah, let's have everybody sign off, talk about who they are and where they can be found. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for the first episode of A State of Affairs. If you've never encountered this role-playing game system before, it's called Good Society. It is by Story Brewers. You can grab it over on itch.io. I think it's like itch.io/storybrewers. I also just like, they're a lovely queer couple that writes games, and it's like my favorite, and they're so wonderful. And they're just a delight. I've got to hang out with them in person. So go check it out if you haven't yet already. It's a great system. And yeah, so much drama. So let's start with Lexi.
Oh, hi! I'm really good at these, as most people already know. I'm Lexi Games. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I played Lady Florence Ashby and Millie for 5 seconds today. And yeah, I'm doing my first ever playthrough of a Final Fantasy game, so if you want to catch something like that out, I'm doing that right now. And otherwise, you can catch me constantly tweeting, which happens all the time. Everything's Lexi Games. Thanks so much for having me. I'm having so much fun. I've never laughed so hard, quite honestly.
It's a roller coaster, and I love it. I love it.
It's
all right,
so
let's
good.
go. We'll go diagonal to Trooper.
Hi everyone, I'm Trooper SJP, and gosh, how amazing was this? There's so much shenanigans, so much scandal, so much planning. I sort of can't handle it, but I love it, and I just feel like it's going to be next Thursday, like soon, right? Like we can have next Thursday really soon.
In about 7 days.
Oh no, that's longer than I wanted it to be. I want it to be much closer, and I'm gonna get rid of that one of my negative tags so my sister will talk to me again. Because right now she's just not talking to me. It's gonna happen. I don't know when or how, but it'll happen.
I have an idea.
Oh no.
Wait a little.
You can
I'm
find me
just
on...
saying one of your tags is like, there's a lot of options, and
Yeah, I have a lot. Like my tags.
involved.
Yeah, there's a and they'll be hunting. It'll be fine. You can find me on my channel. I run an RPG on Fridays at 7 p.m. It's called City of Light and Shadow. It's a French Resistance game using Fate. And you know, if you want to see some great historical drama, but later than the Regency, but earlier than now, then you can catch me there.
Very nice. All right, bounce down to Murgles.
Sorry, I always have to unmute myself. Hi, I'm Murgles. I played Edward Pembroke for you today. It was ever so fun. I stream animation and storyboarding and stuff on Twitch. I'm currently making an animated film, so if you're interested at all in the process of how an animated film gets made, that's what I'm doing from every stage. So I'm doing like everything, because why not, I guess. Yeah. And that's me, so thanks. What else do I have to say? Am I missing anything?
That's great. Bonsai, bring us home.
Hello, everybody. I am Bonsai Baby. I play Charles Alexander Griffith V and also Viscountess Victoria Ashby. You can find me here on Twitch. I usually do woodworking in the mornings and cooking on the weekends, all the good fun. I'm mostly just loud. So, yes.
It's like the good kind of loud. The good kind of loud. And I have been your facilitator, Random Tuesday. I stream over on my own channel, Random Tuesday. I do cosplay and variety games, play a lot of Magic. I also have a podcast called Shattered Sky. You can find that wherever you find podcasts. It's an RPG. Comes out every couple of weeks. And I'm going to be starting up, I'm not running it, but I'm playing in it, a RPG called Aegon, which is all about being Greek mythological heroes. Very Odyssey style, so we're like traveling to different islands. And we're doing a charity fundraiser for one of the local theaters in Seattle that is currently closed because of, that whole thing that's happening in the world right now. So come by and help us raise some money for that. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. As always, you can support Tablestory over on their Patreon, tablestory.tv/pledge, or join the Discord. I definitely posted the picture of shirtless Ewan McGregor that I may or may not have based the sexy groundskeeper off of. And so you know, which is, I believe, tablestory.tv/discord. Or obviously you can subscribe here, and we will see you next week for another episode of A State of Affairs.